Wow, what a video to debut in.
What is my most controversial video? It's why I don't like Marvel movies.
How do I preface this so that I don't get any backlash? This is an attack on Pewds.
This is the worst dislike ratio I have on any.
Maybe that's because
There's just so much wrong with this.
But suspect. This video was made in 2017. This video is irrelevant.
well, I wasn't making videos back then, and I've only been watching Pewds since T-Series, and he just kept giving me ammo each video he uploaded. Since he's on a break right now, I figured, why not empty the clip?
You better be quicker than that.
But his video doesn't matter. It's just a video on the internet.
My video on the internet doesn't matter either. I'm making this video not to attack Pewds, because half of the things that he says isn't right at all, but the other half can be applied to the other movies and shows that Pewds uses to argue against Marvel.
First argument was oversaturation. I don't know how anyone can really defend this point, but I'll go through it anyway. We have Iron Man, you have the Hulk, Iron Man again, Guardians of the Galaxy again, thank God, Spider-Man, Thor again, and Black Panther. Oh, you thought that was it? No, let's not forget about X-Men, Logan, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four. I'm definitely wrong for being tired of Marvel movies. I just don't understand how I can... I know it's completely unreasonable to think that way. There's just no way at all to come up with this conclusion. I must just be crazy or something.
He starts off okay because even though his wording is off, he's saying that he doesn't want to watch 30 Marvel movies. Nothing wrong with that. But when you say,
I don't know how anyone can really defend this point,
and
but then once you watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you sort of get that they're all the same movie, packaged differently.
now I have to justify the amount of Marvel movies. 2 words. Audience demand.
Who actually cares about the next Ant-Man? Like, it blows my mind. I don't get it.
This many. I don't know why he jabs at Ant-Man specifically. 15 years ago, the general population didn't know who half of these characters were. It's like Smash Bros. You could argue that it's full of iconic characters, but there's about 10 that I can think of off the top of my head that if it weren't for Smash, they would be forgotten in time. Take Ant-Man as the Pit of Marvel. Pit had one game on the NES, but was forgotten by Nintendo until Brawl. After seeing what interesting take of a character Sakurai made, the sudden interest for a Kid Icarus game skyrocketed, leading to a new Kid Icarus game being made. You've used audience demand before.
I think I played some Amnesia mod recently, and it was like the worst performing video I've done in forever. So I know there's some people that want something, but in general, you look at the bigger picture and it's like, ugh. How many superhero movies do you need?
None.
But his point was that they all tell the same story.
Now, this is a faulty point when taken literally, but it gives us when he lost interest. I believe that he lost interest around Avengers 2, as that's when people did start to criticize Marvel for repeating cliches and giving stale storylines. Keep this in mind because it'll be important later.
But you didn't disprove his point.
I don't have to. His video about Thanos being a knight of infinite resignation showed what's changed in the storytelling of the MCU. Just keep in mind that he forgot to mention that Thanos also uses destruction to get to his main goal, but his main goal wasn't destruction. Remember that, as that'll be important later too. Oh, and quick side note about your Thanos video.
I like how my main criticism of the Marvel films was that no one actually dies.
No, it wasn't. It was that.
Do you actually, and people are treating this like this is a really big deal, but do you actually think they're gonna just then stop making Iron Man movies? Do you think that franchise is just somehow completely gone? They're gonna be prequels, they're gonna be different iterations, different actors. They're still making Spider-Man movies.
What? Iron Man dying doesn't actually matter? We all know this. Even in the comic books, death really doesn't matter. But the reason why we care is because it's the end of RDJ's run as Iron Man. 10 years. How old was I 10 years ago? But Pewds isn't really the one to talk about repeating the same content. You laugh, you lose, 70 videos. Well, why? 101 videos. Dr. Phil, 11 videos. Wait, what?
You serious?
It got taken down, and none of the PewDiePie re-upload channels have it up. So I guess I'm gonna have to reenact the part I was gonna use. Get ready for some cringe. Dr. Phil, I used to love making these, but they all get demonetized. But I wanna do it. So the man who confirms that he has millions.
PewDiePie net worth. According to this, my net worth is 20 million. I am sorry, but it's a bit more than that, Google. I don't know exactly how net worth is measured, but if it's based on how much money on my bank account, then I'm sorry. You're coming a little short there, buddy.
You can have money as a motivation to make content, but a corporation can't.
As long as they keep making money, it's not gonna stop.
Because that's how capitalism works.
I don't know how anyone can really defend this point.
But one thing that I personally don't enjoy about this Marvel movie specifically is that they rely so heavily on special effects. It just feels too unreal. It just feels too unrealistic. It's like I'm watching an animated film with nothing really artistically interesting or impressive about it.
This is actually his best argument, because this video is on why he doesn't like Marvel movies, and he's being subjective. But then he ruins it by comparing Marvel to other properties.
As opposed to Dark Knight, for example, where you watch this scene and you're like, whoa, they actually did flip a giant truck in the middle of New York City. That's really cool. There's something interesting and admirable about that. You have the John Wick films, which I'm not going to show because it will get demonetized, but you see the talent of Keanu Reeves, the actor. You see his movement and you see what he does. He doesn't need 1,000 animators working on every single detail of the shot trying to make the person look cool. It's the actor himself being cool.
So I'm gonna put Keanu Reeves in my back pocket. But about The Dark Knight, I could generalize all DC movies the same way he has with Marvel movies. And if you think about it, DC relies on special effects just as much as Marvel, at times even more.
But he isn't talking about DC. He's only talking about one movie.
Well, let's talk about it then.
Sure, Deadpool is a very different superhero than Spider-Man, but at the end of the day, all these films can be summarized as superhero has superpowers, supervillain has superpowers, superhero wants peace, supervillain wants destruction. They fight, and superhero wins. Hooray!
The Dark Knight actually fits what he's tired of seeing more than Deadpool does. You know, the movie he used as an example.
The Dark Knight is way deeper than that. In fact,
You either die a hero or you'll live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
So that just shows how vague his description was. Any superhero movie can be dumbed down to that definition. I'll just recommend him The Winter Soldier and Civil War. I won't get into depth, but they're right up your alley. In The Winter Soldier, there's almost no special effects. The actors do most of the stunts themselves, and both have Captain America facing the consequences of being a hero. I'm actually gonna skip the entire topic of anime, mostly because
There's just so much wrong with this.
that he keeps showing the holes in his own argument. Also, I don't watch much anime, but I'm not gonna make accusations about media I don't watch. To prevent from being completely wrong, something Pewds should learn not to do, but I do disagree with.
Okay, let's drop the whole anime point.
Because when you use a point for an argument, you can't just drop it right after. He does this throughout the video, but that's just him trying to cover up the holes in his own argument with everything that he uses in this video.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not even a DC fanboy. Like, I've given up on that as well.
But there is one man that he mentions and doesn't deny being a fan of.
People worship Stan Lee like he's some sort of godlike creature, and which gives me to my next point, which is the cult surrounding the Marvel movies. It's freaky. It's weird. It's a guy dressed in a suit. You're screaming at a guy dressed in a suit.
Would you guys like to hear the juiciest bit of hypocrisy?
Overall, it was a pretty boring conference. There's not much to say about it. I didn't really was that interested about anything. Oh my god, it's Keanu Reeves! Yay!
Love Keanu
Keanu Reeves.
Oh my god, he's there!
Damn it!
Wait. Keanu Reeves, everyone.
I love Keanu!
Keanu Reeves isn't lonely after all? What? But how am I supposed to protect him? When Keanu acts as John Wick, he is John Wick.
Oh my god, the screen.
In every single film, he is John Wick.
Jesus,
The
stop!
Matrix training for John Wick.
Oh my god! That was actually me. I was there. Keanu Reeves' demise will be his virtue. He can never be stopped, and your fantasy can never be quenched. The day Keanu Reeves get outed for a bad person is the day the world is over. Because I don't want to live in it.
I want to make something clear. I am not
Keanu
Jesus.
Reeves was the
I am also
pastor
no
of his own
prophet or
little
lone
church,
fighter that will save the world.
Keanu Reeves is gone. I know it now.
It's a guy dressed in a suit. You're screaming at a guy dressed in a suit.
I'm only using Keanu here to show that there's something called being a passionate fan, which even Felix can relate to. The problem here is that he calls his weird and freaky cult followers for being Marvel fans, but he doesn't stop to realize that he's made the exact same video twice.
What is your secret for always staying so down to earth? Gravity.
Well, I mean, gravity.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies. I love watching them, and I love making them.
What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves? Take a deep breath. I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
John Wick, Chapter 3. Promise you won't cry, okay? Promise you won't cry. Promise! One of the reasons Keanu Reeves is such a good person is because of how much he has lost. He lost his girlfriend and his baby, and he never wants anyone to hurt the way he did. Even if it's just with a good attitude, he tries his best to help others and bring them joy. Keanu Reeves, I keep telling
is immortal.com.
He's gone.
Here
He's
it is.
immortal.
He doesn't age.
1530,
Here's the proof.
1875.
The website has been
He doesn't
updated.
age
2077.
2077.
Still hasn't aged.
He still doesn't age.
He doesn't need 1,000 animators working on every single detail of the shot, trying to make it personal. It's the actor himself being.
If there's a cult behind Marvel, then there's definitely a cult behind Keanu Reeves.
But the Matrix isn't part of the John Wick films.
And Deadpool isn't part of the MCU. But at least I used my out-of-place example in a way that made sense.
Congrats to the entire Black Panther team! Because of you, young people will finally see superheroes that look like them on the big screen. Way to put more emphasis on race than what is necessary at all.
Really, dude? You're using this as your source?
Even if this idea was so great, why did it take 18 films for Black Panther to come out? Is it because social politics is more popular than ever and it's actually very monetizable? Or is it because they actually want to do something good and positive? I wonder which one.
I'm done pardoning his ignorance. Black Panther is considered one of the best MCU movies. But not because it's Black Hero the movie. It's because of two reasons. One, it took us to Wakanda, a famous location from the comics that they were hinting to since Avengers 2. Two, the villain, Killmonger, is considered one of the best villains in the MCU. I personally think he's okay, but I'm making a subjective statement about a movie that I have watched, while he's making a blunt accusation about a movie that he hasn't watched. I'd rather watch his clickbait and philosophy videos, because at least he does research on those. I actually watched the Captain America movies so that I could use them in my argument.
Oh poor you. You had to endure the hardship that is watching movies.
No, my point is that it's literally easy to watch a movie for research. He can make a blanket statement and I'll forgive it, but calling Black Panther a pandering movie? Now that's an oopsie. I bet he flipped when there was a Black Spider-Man. Especially when this is the same guy that said,
"There's a completely different version of me existing in the eyes of people that read these articles about me, and as opposed to the people that actually watch my videos."
Why hasn't there been a Mexican superhero yet? Why not an Eskimo? Hello, I am an Eskimo. Who am I supposed to idolize here?
He literally just discredited his entire argument. Maybe they aren't pandering at every opportunity. Maybe they're just using the characters from the source material at the times that they need to. 3 years later, and my race still isn't represented by a superhero. And my race is still not represented in any more than just a stereotype side character. Guess what, Pewds? I don't care whether or not my race gets represented. My race doesn't care. The majority of the Marvel fan base doesn't care. This is your weakest point and isn't even related to why you don't like Marvel movies. It's now about why we should also not like Marvel movies.
Felix, it's my childhood. I grew up reading comic books.
A lot of people have said this argument to me as well, that they just grew up with comic books and that's why they get so excited about it. But I don't really get that either, to be honest.
Wait, what happened to?
If you like Marvel movies, don't worry, that's your opinion and I just have mine.
These are quite obviously conflicting statements because you have no idea what strategy to actually go with. Should I be super confident or should I act as if I don't care at all? I don't know, let's try both.
For some reason, it's still allowed for grown men to enjoy and cry about these films being interesting. At the end of the day, I don't care. You're free to like whatever you want. Seeing the cult of frantic, screaming adults crying about these movies still, it's insane to me. I think there's something wrong about our culture. It doesn't bother me. I genuinely think it's damaging.
This is the worst dislike ratio I have on any.
Gee, I wonder why. Imagine if I pulled a media move after saying that this isn't an attack. I won't out of respect for Felix, but you all know what I'm talking about. So that's really gonna do it for this video, but I'm not gonna say my opinion on the internet and then close the door behind me. Instead, I'd like to hear what you think down below. Do you agree with me, or do you think my entire video is wrong? Just don't blindly attack me because I disagree with one PewDiePie video. If you do, I won't delete your comment. I'll just leave it up as a sign that maybe Felix has a cult of his own. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, is math related to science?
I was proven wrong.